People hear DevOps and GitOps in the same conversation and assume they are two names for the same thing. That shortcut causes confusion fast. DevOps is the bigger way a team builds, ships, and runs software together. GitOps is one specific way to control changes to running systems through Git. If you remember one thing from the start, remember this. DevOps is the operating mindset. GitOps is a delivery pattern inside it. In the next few minutes, we will make that difference practical. First, I will define DevOps in plain language. Then, I will show what GitOps adds. Then we will compare how a change actually moves from idea to production. And finally, I will show when GitOps helps, when plain CI/CD is enough, and where beginners often get it wrong. Start with DevOps. DevOps is not a tool. It is not just a YAML file, and it is not just a deployment pipeline. It is a way for developers and operators to share responsibility for speed, reliability, and recovery. That usually means better collaboration, more automation, testing, observability, and faster feedback. Git is often part of that story, but using Git does not automatically make the workflow GitOps. Now GitOps. GitOps says the desired state of a system should live in Git as reviewed versioned configuration. That desired state might be Kubernetes manifests, Helm charts, app config, or infrastructure definitions. A controller watches Git and compares that desired state with the live environment. When the two drift apart, the controller syncs the environment back toward the approved state. So Git becomes the operational source of truth, instead of people making silent manual changes in production. Here is the easiest workflow comparison. In a common CI/CD flow, a developer pushes code, CI runs tests, and a pipeline deploys directly into an environment. In GitOps, the team still writes code and still uses CI. The difference is that a reviewed change in Git becomes the deployment trigger and the source of approved runtime state. A pull request updates the config. After review and merge, the controller notices the change and applies it to the target environment. If someone changes the cluster by hand, GitOps can detect drift and reconcile it back. So the key difference is not automation versus no automation. The real difference is where operational control lives. That model gives you a few clear benefits. First, every operational change has a pull request history. Second, environments become more repeatable because the desired state is written down. Third, rollback can be cleaner because the known good version is already in Git. And fourth, GitOps works especially well when many clusters or environments need to stay aligned. That is why platform teams and Kubernetes teams talk about it so much. But this is the warning section. GitOps does not replace DevOps, and it does not fix weak engineering habits. If reviews are poor, tests are weak, or ownership is unclear, GitOps can automate the mess instead of removing it. You still need monitoring, incident response, secrets management, release strategy, and sane architecture. And you do not need GitOps on day one for every small app. For a simple product, good CI/CD may be enough at first. GitOps becomes more valuable as environments, compliance needs, and operational scale grow. So here is the simple mental model. DevOps is the broad practice of building and operating software well as a team. GitOps is a specific operating pattern that uses Git as the approved source of truth for runtime change. GitOps can strengthen DevOps, but it is not the whole story. Start by understanding CI, review, deployment, and observability. Then GitOps will feel obvious instead of mysterious. If you want, next I can break down GitOps with a real Kubernetes example.